I am going to get into something right here because we have a question from somebody. This is from Daniel Robinson. Daniel Robinson sent an email today, and Daniel Robinson wants to know. He says, I should have put this on the screen, but I didn't copy it over. He says, what up, Corey? Have you heard about the rumor going on? He wants to really know about this from you, Martin. He says, have you heard about the rumor going on with Sony offering Daniel Craig? Have you heard about this, Martin?
I did. I saw something about it the other day.
You know how much money they're offering this boy?
It's 150 million?
150 million.
Pounds, by the way.
Pounds. Wow.
Pounds.
So that's like $250. I mean, $1 million.
That's a fucking lot of money.
It is. But I need to email him and say, no, man, stay true to yourself. Don't come back.
Because he didn't want to do it. And he's been fighting it for the longest time, but they've offered him $150 million to be James Bond for 2 movies. And he wants to know, what do you guys think of this rumor? And he says, Martin, definitely going to be pissed about this. And it is true. Well, I don't know. It's a rumor right now, but it's true that people are putting it out there in more publications saying that Sony is really hell-bent on having Daniel Craig come back as being James Bond. And the thing with him coming back as James Bond is baffling a lot of people.
Damn, those ears are huge.
I know. He don't,
half the size of his head.
And he don't even want to do this shit, man.
I mean, it's been obvious he didn't want to do it from the last 2 movies. So I can only imagine what his next 2 would be like doing it under protest.
I mean, every time they ask him to do James Bond, he makes that face with, I don't want to do James Bond. I don't care about James Bond.
Seriously, I ain't never seen a James Bond who quits in every single movie.
And he, you know what? And he even said, and you can see it in his article right here. He said, look, I'd rather slip my wrist than do James Bond again.
Well, here's the thing. People go like, come on, man, 150 million, but like you can only spend so much money in a lifetime.
He's already got money.
You can only will your kids so much money in a lifetime. He probably has already achieved that. It's like, add more money. It's like, what's that going to do?
Here's the thing, people. I'm going to tell you right now, you better not give that motherfucker $150 million to do this. You better not give him that money because everybody, the whole thing that people are saying, well, he's the perfect Bond. And look, I love him. I actually love him. I said he's the second best James Bond. But if he don't want to do it, don't make him do it. And you know what? And here's the thing about it. I can understand if you know you were on a roll with these movies because that's what they're saying. They said we really got to keep this guy. We really got to keep him in there because we're at a crucial point with him. And at this moment, there's never been a better time to try a different James Bond. Shit, you better save some money and get that discount Black Bond right now. Idris Elba.
I don't know why they don't change up.
Don't they always change it up?
Well, that's for a while. They keep James Bond for a little while, but people have been saying, I've hardly heard anybody like, now you got some people that are fighting it, but like the Black James Bond with Idris Elba, that's been catching.
It's catching until he signs the paper, and then all the races come out.
Yep.
And fuck him, let him. Shit, Idris Elba said, I do this shit for $10,
People
man.
losing that shit over Mary Jane, and don't nobody give a shit about Mary Jane, but suddenly they do when it's a girl who's not even completely black casting the role.
And that, you know what they mad about? Because they know that Black James Bond, he gonna fuck a lot of white women.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at him. He's looking at one right now. Look at he's like, I already see the first one right there. He's on the hunt. And you know what? But let them, man. They know, but really, a lot of people are saying it's cool. People, even the racists are kind of like, you say they're gonna sign, but people, it's already sunk in. They're just kind of like, fuck it, y'all taking everything else anyway. Have it. No, when you hear James Bond right now, who's gonna play him, you hardly heard anybody say, ugh, like Tom Hardy. They said Tom Hardy. People are like, yeah, I can kind of see that. Even fucking Loki. Well, maybe not him.
No, they actually, you know, his name's been brought up a bunch. Here's the thing about this.
But you know, that's until he got that Taylor Swift smell on him, and people kind of like, well, shit, you fuck that.
She gonna write a song about you, and that's it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that nobody wants to admit: playing James Bond, it ain't that hard. You don't need a lot of chops for it. I mean, all you gotta do is look good in a tuxedo, rattle off some puns, and just do your thing.
You don't even need a tuxedo. All you need is a nice suit.
True.
And a gun. You know, all you need to do, like you're right, just drink a martini and say some stupid shit. That's it.
Yeah.
And fuck a chick every now and then. Yeah, that is it.
Honestly, like, you know, nobody wants to hear, but even playing Batman, that's not that hard. It's mostly the suit and all the years of comics that do all the work for you.
But you got to change your voice.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I hate to admit it to, I'd look back at every Batman, I say, okay, what was it that really made that Batman great? Oh, one, it was Batman just got made. Oh, one, the Joker was there. Oh, the other, oh, that's a cool ass suit. Oh, he made a great Bruce Wayne. But just it's never like, oh wow, that's a cool ass Batman.
Christian Bale got to do more as Bruce Wayne and more acting than anybody else in that role. And still, it ain't like it's not something that anybody else who's a decent actor could not have done.
They even mentioned Christian Bale as James Bond, and we're like, sure, why not? Don't give a fuck anymore. Why not? And you're gonna give $150 million to this dude who's saying, I'd rather kill myself. Let that motherfucker kill himself. Don't you give him $150 million, goddammit.
You think it'll happen?
What, he'll kill himself?
No.
Oh, no.
No, they're offering me money. It's time to die.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Do I think it'll happen? And I will tell you this much. Yes, I think he'll take it. And the reason why is because I love Daniel Craig as James Bond. I love Daniel Craig as an actor, but whenever Daniel Craig ain't James Bond, ain't nobody rushing out to see a Daniel Craig movie.
True.
We had this movie called Dreamhouse. You remember Cowboys and Aliens? That was supposed to be
Wasn't he in Golden Compass too?
Yep.
Yep, he was in Golden Compass. And let's not forget, you want to know the last big thing he's done outside of Star Wars? That fucking Stormtrooper in Star Wars. That was a cameo. No, and people didn't even know that was him for a while.
And he's in one of my favorite movies, Infamous. And he's really acting in that. Like you see, like, oh wow, he's actually a very talented actor, and I can see him wanting to do more stuff like this. But that's not what people are coming out to see.
He's a great actor, but people, the reality is, people just aren't rushing out to see a Daniel Craig movie.
But at the same time, if you've been paid James Bond money, it don't matter that much if people coming out to see you or not. You just want to act.
You just no, that's what he wants to do. He just wants to act.
So why, if he can't pull an audience on all these other movies, why is 007 so different?
Because people come out to see James Bond.
It's
They
the
don't come out to
name
see
James
So
Bond.
it's not Daniel Craig.
No. The reason why they go see James Bond is because James Bond is the brand.
Right.
And that's why so many people have been able to play him. That's why that franchise has been able to be rebooted for the last 50 years.
Yeah, so successfully. Then I just wonder why they want Daniel Craig so bad.
As much as people are losing their shit over Zendaya playing Mary Jane, more people, they lost more of their shit over him being James Bond because he was blonde.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a big campaign. The way he had to come out and say, people, please give me a chance. I think I can do this.
You know what?
And then once he did it, they were like, oh, you're the best one ever.
Martin, they left him alone. Martin, like, I love Daniel Craig. Martin was saying, well, man, look at them fucking ears on him. That ain't my James Bond. If that motherfucker play Dumbo, he can't play James Bond. Martin and I have been there.
Idris Elba as the crows.
I ain't say that.
I ain't never seen no ears like that before. I don't seen about everything, but I ain't never seen a black James Bond. Martin and I have never been able to agree on James Bond. I love the new James Bond movies that they've done, stuff for lately. But Martin has just been like, I do not accept him. That is not that thing on that screen is not James Bond. That ain't the Bond.
Hashtag not my Bond.
And I don't mind it, but let's take a look at something. Y'all already spent $150 million, and God bless him if he got it and he made another James Bond movie that's out of sight, then good. I'm happy. Martin ain't gonna like it, but I'm happy. But let's get, you know what, numbers. Numbers say everything. Let's get right down to some numbers right here. You know, we look at things like Skyfall. Skyfall was I love Skyfall. Again, Martin doesn't like it that much, but Skyfall at the theater during this theatrical run, Skyfall made $304.4 million domestically, crossed the $1 billion mark, $1.1 billion, but $1.1 billion internationally. Now you get over to Spectre, the last James Bond movie. That film did $200 million domestically and did $880.7 million internationally. There is a dip right there. You see something going on where it's not like it's an upward roll. There's a little bit of a dip going down.
I think that would have been lower if Skyfall wasn't that good, because everybody saw Skyfall like, this is an amazing movie. So they're like, oh yeah, Spectre's got to be that great too.
So it would have been lower.
Yeah, it would have been much lower if it didn't come after Skyfall.
Once you hit $1 billion though, and your budget was $200 million, that kind of doesn't matter if it's a couple million short.
No, it does.
$100 million is a lot of money.
Yeah,
as we're talking about this story right now, $150 million.
Okay, you make a good point. Maybe to you, $1 million, okay, that's just spare change. Sure, why not? But even if you look at how the audiences respond to it, I know everybody here is not a fan of Rotten Tomatoes, but that's a gauge for a lot of people. Skyfall, 93% when that came out of critics that enjoyed that.
And that was a dumb movie.
And get the fuck out of here. See? Starting that shit, see?
It was another movie though where like it wasn't Bond that made that movie. It was Javier Bardem. It was the shooting, the music and everything.
It was Adele.
Because when you got to it was Adele, the Skyfall
No,
thing.
it had a lot going on with it.
And then when you get to Spectre,
Man,
65%.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, so many people I know who loved all the Daniel Craig James Bonds came out of Spectre going like, yeah, that
was
wasn't
me.
so good.
You know why? Because with Spectre, that's when they started getting into that dumb shit. All
This
those.
is his Die Another Day.
This was that point we're getting into that goofy sci-fi James Bond, bringing in with the villain who strokes the cat and all the sci-fi stuff that's going on with. Oh yeah, Austin Powers.
It just seems like even with they get a new James Bond and they can't maintain it for 4 movies. They get to that 4th one and they just kind of like, you forgot how to do this.
Yeah, you've with the last movie, you've changed it. You've crossed over into that James Bond that's for so long you were trying to avoid. You've already made a transition, so at this point you can trade off. You can get another James Bond. Shit, you can get Idris Elba right now. I guarantee you can get Idris Elba and people will be happy with it. You're starting a whole new era with James Bond. This is the perfect time to do it. Tom Hardy, if he ever wants to do it, he'd be fine.
Simon Pegg
at this point, I wouldn't care.
So if the numbers are going down from Spectre to Skyfall, from Skyfall to Spectre, and the Rotten Tomatoes percentage is going down, why are they so turned up for this Daniel Craig guy?
With his movies especially, they've always had that peaks and valleys because like Casino Royale was a big hit, but then Quantum of Solace came out and people didn't like it that much, and it didn't make as much money as Casino Royale did. But then Skyfall came out.
Right.
Yeah,
like, oh, that's great. So like he's always been up and down.
So they figure like, well, the next one's got to be a hit.
Big.
Yeah.
So,
but also it's one of these things where it's more expensive to get something new than to just keep the thing you got.
Well,
Because you already got brand recognition.
for $150 million, that's a whole other Bond movie right there.
I know.
For one dude.
I know. Like, you taking a chance on it not even making that much
That's
money.
another thing. You think Tom Hiddleston will take $150 million? He'll be like, no, I'll take $30 million to do
Yeah,
this
they
shit.
ain't going to pay him $150
Yeah.
million.
Hell no.
Yeah. Tell you what, pay me $30 million, let Taylor Swift do the theme song. I'll fucking do it.
You know what? That's actually something somebody would hear and go like, yeah.
Actually, you keep that son of a bitch away from me. Shit, you know what?
Jesus.
Shake it off, Bond. Shake it off.
We're talking about anybody in tuxedo. Y'all ain't seen my prom picture. I could fucking play James Bond. That's me back in high school, man.
Damn. Why you had to blur her
you
face
dreaming?
out?
I could be Black Bond.
You look so young and spry.
That's me back when I was 18. Shit, I can play James Bond
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
dying to see that girl you with.
I know. Why'd you blur her face out?
She's in witness protection.
Because
Corey Coleman guy keeps calling me.
because I told her I'd kill her that night.
I only went to the prom because she paid.
Well,
I was at the scene of the crime.
well, the reason why is because my Bond villain is after her, and I had to hide her identity. My Bond villain being me. Man, I had to get that picture today from my mom. Man, she was so confused. I had to take that picture.
What do you want this for?
What is that decor? It's like a palm tree?
But if you can see, they didn't know how to do it. You can see the reflection in it and everything.
Oh, your mom's reflection?
Yeah.
You can't see her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can see.
And the ceiling fans.
You can see my mom in the picture right there. Somebody had to come over and give her a phone and show her how to take the picture.
Damn,
and give
dude,
it
you
to
still
her.
look the same.
What's
It's
that?
like you still look the same.
Yeah.
It's like you went to that prom last week.
No, that's why I had to hide her face.
How old are you? All right, just take a picture and shut up.
Oh,
I told nobody
God.
how old I am.
Just fucking smile. That's all you gotta do.
I can't go back to jail.
She's trying to pull away from me right now.
About your corsage, you mind?
No, she's actually pinned to me right now. Yeah.
You going back in the shade when this is over.
Put me up in there, man. Let me play James Bond Jr.
Oh, God.
High school James Bond. Gamefly brings to your house, to you, over 8,000 new releases and classics that are available to rent, or you can buy them for almost every system out there, current and some old systems. Like I said, man, I've been trying to put my GameCube back to work for years. Gamefly's giving me an excuse to do that. And you could even try 30 days for free by typing in gameflyoffer.com/double toasted. And when you do that, you'll get 30 days for free of games and movies. Get all those things, all of them at once. Just stay in the house. Don't go nowhere because they're all going to get brought right to your mailbox. You can also bring the element of surprise every month to your home in the form of a Loot Crate mystery box. In that box, I can't tell you what it is, but I can guarantee you it is the best in geek and gaming gear. Some people say it's like having Comic-Con brought right to your home. You don't have to leave the house for nothing. You're getting all kind of stuff. And everybody likes a little surprise every month. Just a little bit. And here's another surprise for you. You know, if you go to our link, trylootcrate.com/double toasted, and you type in bridge 10, that's the word bridge and the number 10, you can get 10% off, a 10% discount on your first crate. How's that for a surprise right there? Loot Crate, bring the mystery and the surprise to your mailbox once a month with Loot Crate. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and go over to our home, doubletoasted.com, for more videos and live streams. And remember, stay toasty.